Hello everyone, namaste, how are you? Welcome to doing friendship bracelets with me. This week we are going to learn how to make name bracelets. So these are really great gifts for friends, for family, for yourself. It takes up a little bit of string and some time, but it is definitely worth it. Super easy once you get the hang of it. And yeah, so in this video I'm going to show you how I made this bracelet here, and I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, let's get started on making our name bracelets. Okay, so I went ahead and picked out my colors. So the color that you see here that has 11 strings, this is going to be the color of the name that you are writing. Okay, so I'm going to write the name Melissa, and the letters are going to be in this white color. The background color, the majority of the bracelet, is going to be this color, purple. You can choose any color, but all you need to know is that you just need one string, relatively long, that is going to be for the background. And this is the string that's going to be doing pretty much all of the work during this bracelet. Okay, and so I went ahead, did my knot, and left enough room so that I could do my braid at the end. And so let's get started. So first, we're just going to go ahead and do our regular forward knot. So we're making that 4, bringing it through the hole, and pulling nice and tight. And we're doing that again, the 4 through the hole, and pulling nice and tight. And we're just going to do the exact same thing all the way to the end. So I will come back once I've reached the end and show you how to turn around. Alright guys, so here is that first row, and you want it to be pretty straight. I like to use my nail to help kind of push the knots up or down to help get it into that straight line. And so before I continue, I forgot to mention that you want these strings to be about medium length. You don't need them to be overly long. Really, it's this string that's going to be doing all the work, and during the bracelet you are going to run out of this string. It's going to come to the end, and so I will show you how to add more string into the bracelet so that you can keep continuing with the pattern. Okay, so now that I've gone forward, I am just going to do a backwards knot. So before we did this forward knot with the 4, and now I'm just doing the reverse, the backwards 4. So I'm pulling it through, and I'm keeping it nice and tight. So just like that. Okay, so here are the first 2 rows. So we went to the right, and then we went to the left, and then we just keep doing the exact same thing about 20 times. So you want to create about 20 to 25 rows depending on how long the name is. So now that we've gone backwards, we're just going forwards again. And you can count the number of rows you can see here. So then this top is 1 row, and then the second one I did is the second row, and then the next one. So now I'm on the 3rd row. So I will come back when I've done about 20 rows. Alright, so I haven't made it to 20 rows yet. I'm 2 rows away, but as you can see, I've run out of string. So when you run out of string, you want to take another piece of string that's a relatively good length, and you're just going to want to tie a knot so it's the bottom. And so what I like to do is just cross it like this go through and then pull so it's nice and tight. And then I hold my finger there to keep the tight knot. And then I just do again. So I make a loop there and put it through the hole. And you're just going to want to pull again so that it is nice and tight. Just like that. So then I like to take a piece of tape and just tape the two strings to the side so that they don't get in the way when I am using now my new long piece of string. Okay, so here I actually did 24 rows, and here is a general rule of thumb. So these are the number of letters in the name. So if you have a name with only 4 letters, like Jane, then you would do 31 rows. If you have a name that has 5 letters, like Naomi, then you would use 30 rows. And 6 letters, 26 rows, 7 is 24. So because the name I'm using is Melissa and has 7 letters, I did 24 rows. So now we are going to begin talking about how to actually make the name. So here I drew the alphabet, but I did it in a very special way, and here is uppercase. So there it is. And so what you're going to notice is that I did numbering on the side, and each number, 1 through 11, represents one of the bass strings, or one of the strings that the name is going to be that color. So like I said earlier, the name of Melissa was going to be white, so each string here represents one of the white strings. And so I filled it in, and filling it in shows when I'm going to use the white string to do a knot instead of the purple string. So when you're going to use the base color instead of the overall color of the bracelet. So for example, I'm going to need this capital M for Melissa. And I will now show you how reading this works. Okay, so here's the bracelet. And I'm going to do an M. So I'm going to leave this string purple because it's not filled in. But then when I look at this first row right in there, I'm going to do 9 white knots. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to do this is going to be purple. Right? So I just did this first box right here. That's the outside color, so that was purple. And now I'm going to do this, which is going to be white. And so now instead of using my purple, just doing the forward knot, I'm going to take this white knot. And what we're going to do is called a backwards forward knot. Okay, so I'm going to make that backwards 4, pull the string through, and pull. Oh, I apologize, we're just doing a backwards knot. It's not the backwards forward. So, and we're doing the same knot again. So the backwards 4. So you always want to be going in the opposite direction of the purple string. So whatever knot the purple string is doing, so in this direction it's doing the forward knot, this is going to be doing the opposite. So this did a backwards knot on top of the purple string. And we're just going to keep doing that 8 more times. And that's so the purple string can move to the right. So again, I'm doing a backwards 4, or the letter P, and I'm pulling the string, there you go, through the hole, and pulling that. I'm doing it twice. And you want to make sure it's extra tight, so that it kind of looks like that. If you don't tie it that tightly, then your letters will look kind of loose. So here I only have, let's see, 5 more left to do. And these knots are extra tight there. All right, here's my last one. So I still have this one white string left, but because this top box is empty, it's going to be purple. If it's easier actually to look at it sideways, then this is a row, and then I'm moving on to this row. So it looks like I have 2 purples, and then these are all white until the very last one when it's purple again. So the 2 purples, purple, another purple, and then it's white. So like I said before, whatever direction the purple string is going on in, you want the base color to do the opposite. So because I was doing backwards 4s with the purple, now we're going to do a forward knot with the white. So I'm making that 4 through and pulling nice and tight. Again, 4 through, nice and tight. So then I'm going to keep doing that, and at the bottom of this video I am going to attach the pictures of the alphabet sheets that I made so that you can refer to them at home when you're making these bracelets yourself. So yeah, so I'm just going to continue doing this, and then of course do a purple on this last one. And then as you can see, each row is a little bit different. So in the second row, I will be doing purple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then use the white only twice, and then finish it with purple. So you can see how it adjusts depending on which row you're doing, so that once you finish all the rows, it'll spell out the letter. So I will come back once I am done with the M, just to show you what it looks like. All right, so here is my M, and I went ahead and did another row just of the purple afterwards, and you're going to want to do a row of your main color in between each letter. Only one row is good. And so now I will turn to my lowercase alphabet, and I'm going to want this letter, the letter E. And so I'm just going to keep doing the same patterns that I've been doing. So I'm just, each row I'm going to count, okay, how many purple am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I do 2 at the bottom, and then I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my white, and then 4 purple to close it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go row by row to see which color I use. And again, whenever you use your name color, so in my case white, you always want to go in the opposite direction of the color that your main color, so in my case purple, is going. Okay, so I am going to come back once I have completed her name. Welcome back. So I have completed the name that I wanted to write. Again, using these, finding the letters that I wanted to use, and then just going row by row with how to do the knots. And again, here's the uppercase. And so now that I finished the name, I'm just going to do the same number of purple rows as I did at this top. So the 24, because I'm doing a 7-letter name. And as you can see, I had to add some extra string when my string ran out. And preferably, I forgot to mention this earlier, but it's nice when you can make the knots on the side, because eventually we will be cutting off this extra string. And so it just is easier to incorporate the string when you're starting a new row versus when you're in the middle of a row. So now I'm going to finish up this bracelet, tie braids on the ends, and show you the final product. Okay, so here is the final product, and I went ahead and made the bracelet adjustable and added the initials of the person who's receiving the bracelet onto the end. And so now I just want to show you how to cut off these knots from when we added string. And so it's really simple. What I just do is I take my scissors and I go in really close to where that knot is, and I just do a nice cut. See? And then it makes it look like there was never a change in string during the bracelet. So I'm just going to do that in all the spots. So there. And this bracelet does take up a lot of string, between the 11 strings that you need for the name and then the string that you use to do the outside. But the bracelet always turns out really nice, and from my experience, people are very happy to see their own name on a personalized bracelet. So yeah, so here it is. Hello again. Well, how'd your bracelets turn out? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them below this video in the comment section. And yeah, I will see you next week for another super fun bracelet pattern with Naomi. Okay, bye!